Oh, you guys saw some Rush concerts, huh,
Yeah, we
buddy?
did. It was, I kind of treated the whole experience like on the subject of reparenting, like
Yeah,
I was really viewing the whole thing as like I'm taking these young parts of myself to these shows. Like I'm going to give them
yeah,
the
yeah.
best experience I can possibly give them. And it
It's
was really
awesome.
cool from that standpoint. It was cool, for my brother and I, music was such a lifesaver, and it wasn't just having music to listen to. It was the experience of getting the tickets,
Mhm.
going to the shows, being in the live venue,
Oh yeah,
and it was a constant thing to look forward to because
yeah,
that was back when these guys were cutting an album every year. They
yeah.
were on tour nonstop, and we were in Columbus, Ohio, so we could go to like Cincinnati, Toledo, Cleveland.
Hmm.
We had so many venues around us, and
I've
that's
been
what
to
we
see
did, man.
shows in Cleveland and Cincinnati and Columbus. I used to follow Fish around. So
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you know all those venues, right?
oh
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like, that combined with the zero adult supervision was, it
Oh
was
yeah.
like, it was awesome. I mean, we went to, lots and lots of other bands besides Rush, but that was our kind of like holy grail. Like, man, this is,
It's
so
awesome.
I got these tickets a while ago and I was just like, man, I just kind of grabbed whatever tickets I could get to whatever shows I could get. And then I was like, yeah, we'll probably end up selling some of them or whatever. And we had tickets to 3 shows. I was like, let's just go to all three
Yeah,
and do it
yeah,
up. And
yeah.
it was, I mean,
And
I'm
so
so
what? Like
glad we
somebody
did.
recognized your brother?
Oh, dude, it was like 50 people every night
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least. I mean,
yeah.
but yeah, there were some people who were kind of with the band that were touring and doing different stuff that recognized him, and
That's
everybody
awesome.
from like fans to the guy selling popcorn, it was wild to experience
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Your
But it
brother's
was,
famous. Yeah, it's
yeah, it
funny.
was cool. I mean, the thing that was cool for me was, it wasn't just like people saying, "Hey man, I know you," kind of thing. It was people who were like, there was an earnestness about it. Like,
Yeah,
don't stop what you're doing. You are giving us a lifeline and we really need
yeah,
that. And don't, it's important. So there was a real kind of validation to it
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's awesome.
that
It's
was really
really. I
nice.
mean, you're,
Yeah.
your brother is inspiring. I mean, I
Yeah.
know, like, he probably doesn't think that, but it's like I know how hard it is to get up and talk this shit and for him to kind of
Yeah.
keep going is it's just I kind of think of him like a like an older brother weird way.
Oh man, he would love to hear that. I'll tell him that. But I kind of see you guys as very similar in that you both have
Yeah.
this ability to just kind of turn on the camera and
I feel
and
like I'm losing
flow.
it, man. Like I'm trying to get back to it. Like I'm trying to like focus and read again. Like just focus on
Yeah.
like I feel like it's become like I've expended too much, and like I
Yeah.
know your brother has stuff he reads, but I feel like I'm not like old Facebook, where you'd get
Yeah.
the Atlantic and all this. Like I feel like there's like a gap in my like information delivery, right? And so
Yeah.
it's like when you're just consuming other content, it's not really the same as like so I'm trying to like buckle back down and dedicate a little time to just like giving myself some space to read again, like
Yeah.
and to kind
It's
of
so
like
important.
yeah.
Whatever it is that you need, it's like I know for him, the mental health part of it is always a challenge. And then,
Yeah.
you get on there and you say the wrong word and people attack you. And that's another challenge on top of it. And,
Yeah. Well, I think he, like me, understands, like, because the followers don't like it when we kind of deal with like a troll or somebody and talk shit back to them. But what they don't understand is that, like, there's this energy debt that comes at us, right? Where we get all this negative energy and you almost have to like
yeah,
express a little bit back so that we're not,
yep,
I mean, one thing I've realized with followers a lot of times is they don't put a lot of thought into like what it might be like on the other side of the camera to deal with. It's not natural to deal with this much direct interaction,
no,
coming back at us.
no, it's complete overwhelm,
Yeah,
and
it
you're
is.
right about that. Like I used to kind of get on him, like, you know, stop paying so much attention to the trolls. But then I realized he has to do that. It's like, it's almost like if you're being in an abusive relationship and you're not speaking your side or
Right,
expressing your
right.
feelings, then you're just, it's got to go somewhere, and it comes out.
Right. And
So
so for him and for me, for people that respond to comments, we're reading the comments, right? So I mean, we're
right,
some people just say, I don't read the comments, and then okay, yeah, but
right.
it's like once you read, so, it's hard to remain like unaffected, with
Oh,
people just like fucking
dude.
picking everything apart.
I mean, I wasn't even like involved at all in the beginning, and I would see the comments and I couldn't take it. Like, it's not even
Yeah.
about me. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, dude, I don't know how you can do this, but I mean, I've kind of, gotten used to it to a point. But when there's times when you're like, oh, these people are really deeply not understanding
Yeah.
who he is, and then making comments from that place, it can be tough, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's
Yeah.
harder for me now than it is for him. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I
it's
empathize.
like a psychological. I mean, I think when I started doing it, like what I was doing, like just like sharing people would say, "Isn't this bad for your mental health?" I say, "No, it's good for my mental health." But over
Yeah,
time, it shifts, and it's like I don't know.
yeah,
And my girlfriend
yeah,
is trying to like sign me up for all these like brand possible deals or some shit, and it's like
yeah,
it's kind of like a nightmare for me because
yeah.
like
We've never done that. I get those emails all the time, and I'm just like, I can't.
yeah,
I
I
don't know. I
don't
just
really
can't
want
do it,
to.
and it's it just feels so inauthentic. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like
yeah. It's like
how,
yeah,
especially
she
coming
wants
from
to
my
move to
brother.
Mexico, so it's like this is like a way,
uh,
like so. I'm not fucking know. I'm just like do what you want, but don't end up resenting me when like I approach things from my own like like me,
exactly.
so it's like do these things, but like understand like my mind works very differently than yours.
Yeah, it might not go well.
No, no,
Totally.
no,
Yeah,
no.
that's funny, man.
So,
Um,
you were saying you want to talk about like disordered politicians, basically,
well,
or
I mean, I don't, that was a couple weeks ago. What do you want to talk about?
I
I'm
don't know.
completely
I
open. To me,
listened
this
to
is just
like
a
the
conversation,
Diary
you
of a
know?
CEO podcast with JD Vance the other day, or like
Oh, wow.
as much as I could stand of it. My
That
girl
sounds like a
listens to weird
workshop.
podcasts, like yeah, but it was like fascinating because like in this weird way, like he's this weird like I mean, it's the dark side of the American success story, but like but then he's disordered. Like, if you knew nothing about the guy, you
Yeah,
knew nothing about
deeply.
reality, you'd think like, oh, this guy's really smart and what he's talking. But you see, like,
Yeah,
just the way he's it was like
yeah,
a masterclass in normalizing these fascists, basically, because
yeah.
the
He
guy
is
like pushed
really,
back a little, but not nearly enough.
yeah. I mean, I don't think it would be hard to push back on him just using his own words from the past,
Right,
but
right,
he is so kind of smarmy and slick, just
yeah.
like so good at that. And but I don't think it works as well as he thinks it does, at least to somebody
No,
with a sense of
I
you know,
I get the
perception.
idea there's just no core self with him. It's just whatever
Yeah.
he shifts into whatever room he's in, he
Yep.
gives them what they want to hear, and he's really
Yep.
good at it. But
He is. Yeah. I thought I saw a couple clips from him on The View, and it was just like, wild to like watch him try to pretend that, the administration is not racist at all. We're
yeah,
inclusive of black
yeah,
and brown
yeah.
people. And it's like, dude, you're talking to the wrong crowd here. Kind of like with Trump, you're like, does he really believe this? Or is this,
I don't think he
it's like,
believes
I mean,
anything.
I don't think he believes anything. I think that's right. I think he believes what he interprets someone wants to hear, and he knows how to spin that, you
Well,
know?
when he explains his childhood and his traumas, he has an understanding of it, but he doesn't have like he's like manifesting exactly what it would do if you haven't really worked on it, which is just
Right.
have no identity, have no
Yeah.
core self,
Yeah,
But
it's
I
disintegrated.
was kind of fascinated by it, to be honest, because like I was
Yeah,
just like, wow, like he had some like, I mean, I know it was just talking, but he had some insight into kind of, it was just, it was, all bullshit essentially, but like,
right. But he's not
you,
stupid.
but he's not stupid at all,
Yeah,
no. And I
yeah,
mean, he was using psychological terms, he was making a critique on therapy that I thought was fair. It was just interesting, which is
yeah,
part of the problem, I think, is that like people
right.
don't, you watch what these people say and then you look at what they do and you figure out, they're full of shit. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and then you find yourself sort of agreeing with them on some like you're like,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
what's what's
I mean,
happening
I've been
here?
trying to listen to more of the like Sean Ryan, and like my girlfriend has weird
Mm.
podcast tastes, and like I just want to kind of see what they're saying,
Yeah,
but like you can see, you can see like how people fall down these rabbit holes and kind of
yeah,
end up, you know, kind of thinking the wrong
yeah. And
things.
then some of them start to kind of wake up a little bit, like, wait, man, this doesn't make sense in the
Yeah,
framework I've been living in.
yeah,
And then they
yeah,
kind of react to that. But
yeah,
yeah, you mentioned I've been thinking a lot, and I know you've been talking a lot about just the psychology of the billionaire with Elon and his
yeah,
being the first trillionaire and all this stuff. But like I think you mentioned in a video that like how they kind of escape the mental illness stigma. They're
yeah,
basically hoarders, but hoarders of money
yeah,
and
yeah,
power. And if they were doing that, there's a house not far from me where a hoarder lives, and you walk by and you can just see there's some deep dysfunction going on here. But since they're doing it with money and power and yachts and stuff, we're like, oh, that's success.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
they're geniuses, or whatever. I think you say capitalism is political narcissism or
Well,
fascism.
it's like
It's a
economic. I mean, I think capitalism
yeah,
extends far beyond just like an economic system. I think it creates like a mindset that we live in that reduces everything to kind of competition, consumption, and value
yeah,
to the system itself, right? And so,
yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
mean,
think all
I
these
get
things work in
sucked
tandem.
into it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm conditioned for it, and
yeah. It's like an energy. You touch that energy and you fall into that trap of like. I mean, when
yeah,
I first started doing this, I had no money. I was on food stamps, and I felt free. And I was like,
right,
kind of like not romanticizing my poverty, but really like understanding what it is to live outside of these kind of thought patterns. But then
right,
once money starts getting involved, it like puts you into this other mindset and you start to want. I think the problem is always
yeah,
the wanting, right? I mean, I think of that with like consumerism, like, I choose to like participate in my own way by books, basically. Like we're
right,
collectors as humans. Like we live in this
right,
society. So it's not like total abstinence, but it's like you think about ordering something and the kind of dopamine and anticipation of getting it, and how much do you value it when you get it? And how
right,
quickly are you then just moving on to ordering the next thing? I mean,
right,
and I think that's where capitalism, I mean, it begins with kind of scarcity mentality, but then once your kind of basic needs are taken care of, it's like, well, I want a nicer house, or I want,
right.
a better car, or whatever, whatever,
Yeah, the scale.
whatever it is, but it just never ends. I mean, I think the big lesson of the billionaires, outside of the fact that they're mentally ill, is that you can't really win, right? Like
No,
you
you're
can have,
cooked.
none of them have been like, I have enough money and I'm done.
No,
I'm done. I'm going to start giving my money away.
yeah,
They
because
all
you don't
want
even
more, more,
notice it
more.
anymore. They're just
No,
like, I don't. Elon Musk doesn't notice the difference in his wealth
no,
from
no, it's
before the
not. I mean,
SpaceX
what do they
IPO
say?
to
It's
now.
like after like 10 million, very little changes other than like the
Yeah,
size and scope of things. But like
yeah,
your kind of like standard of life or happiness after 10 million, and I would think
yeah.
that's even probably pretty high, but like,
It's probably high. I mean, it depends on where you live, of course. But I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I did a short video the other day talking about this. They did that study at Boston College where they asked families of net worth of over 25 million if they felt financially secure, and almost all of them said no. And then they said, well, how much more would you need to feel secure? And they said it averaged out to be about 25%.
Yeah, but it's also that's to me that's more a statement of like you're living according to your standard of wealth. And so unless
Right.
this is where my dad is, you know, he has a lot of faults, but he's not a spender. Like his money
Mm.
almost embarrassed him, and so he would always preach like living within your means, right? That it's not really about how
Interesting.
much you have, but it's about whether you're living within your means, right? And
Mm.
so I think with a lot of those people, yeah, they have a lot of money, but you know, I forget who said it, but I also spend a lot of money, you
Right.
know,
They
and
might all
so
be, they're so leveraged, some of them. Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.